Hey, everyone. Thank you for being with us today. So, we have not shared what we do for a living outside of entertaining you on a podcast. So, today we wanted to save it for this episode specifically. Tis the tie dye because I have a little story to share. But before we do, Renee is going to kick us off and she's going to tell us all about her and what she actually does so you guys can get to know us a little bit more. Renee, it's
Hey,
all you,
hey,
girl.
hello there. Hello.
Hey,
Yes.
girl.
So I was so excited to record this episode because this is like one of my biggest passions. So for those that don't know me, I love sharing that I unapologetically inspire moms over 40 to look and feel like a million freaking bucks, build their $100,000 fuck it fund, and unleash their inner badass queen. That right there, mic freaking drop. That's my superpower. So, and I've grown into that because when I started, I was over 40 and I was a stay-at-home mom. I had lost about 200 pounds and I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. I know. His name is
Mm.
Steven. Sign the dotted line. Instant weight loss. Um, not that I recommend divorce as a weight loss plan. But there I was after a 17-year marriage. And, I'm sure a lot of women are going to relate to this because after a 17-year marriage as a stay-at-home mom, my daughters were 12 and 9 and I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. I knew that I didn't want to go back to the corporate world and work for anyone else and make anyone else millionaires. I knew I wanted to have the freedom and the flexibility to do things with my daughters, still be that mom, still be the soccer mom, the dance mom, basketball mom. Like I loved every minute of it, but I knew my trajectory was not going to be to rely on my ex-husband. I was fortunate that I was able to, I had child support and alimony that allowed me to explore an entrepreneurial world as a safety net. So, but I knew that that wasn't going to be, I can't just rely on him forever. So I was attracted to direct sales. And what I loved about it is, and I love like debunking myths about direct sales because I
Right. Oh, that's a big one.
that's a big one. And I'm sure we'll get into that at another point. But direct sales network marketing, it helps women start a business without having like a big business investment. So I started that with Touchstone Crystal. It's a division of Swarovski. And I started that 11 years ago, over 11 years ago. Insane that I'm still doing that. Like, it's just crazy how it's grown. But I didn't know if I could sell a bracelet. I didn't know if I could book parties. I didn't know any of that. And then fast forward, I, reached the highest level of the company, senior executive director, earned like 20 some odd trips. And I'm not sharing that to like, gloat. I'm sharing it because I'm a mom. Like if I can do it, anybody can do it. I did not have the self-esteem. I didn't have people to support me. What I had was a drive to prove people wrong. My
Yeah.
Italian, Portuguese, I had 2 words written on post-it notes that I put all over my freaking office because my ex-husband didn't think I could tie my shoes without him. So
Mm-hmm.
I wrote, "Watch me." And I just looked at that every day because you don't think I could do it? Oh, yeah, bitch, watch me. Like that was and that just drove me to build and build and build. And then, fast forward, here I am 11 years later, and I've transformed my business and added new legs,
Multiple streams.
multiple streams from
Yeah.
passion. I just love freaking helping women. So I would oftentimes, and I'm sure you can relate, people ask me, well, how did I do it? And they'll ask me for tips and training. And that grew into me creating the Badass Queens coaching and training programs. And now I have digital guides and courses and coaching and brand strategy and like doing all of these crazy, awesome, fun things that I am so excited about, helping women with their personal branding. And then that also led me into what you and I also share in common is our journey of wellness and beauty. For me, it was, I knock on wood, I didn't have any health issues, but I knew that as I'm getting older, I'll be double nickels this year. We found Bella Grace, and that's a collagen elixir and skincare program that I am freaking loving, and have grown that business over the last 18 months. And now I'm, a higher leader there. So I'm building the multiple network marketing businesses at the same time, which totally is like usually a taboo thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
People
Which
don't.
we could talk about that again later too.
Yes. So here I am. Fast forward, 54 old. Now I have multiple businesses, super passionate. I am multi-passionate, and women can freaking do it. So that's what I just love about this. Yeah.
Okay, so we know what inspired you, but okay, so it is a taboo, and I know this is like a completely separate episode, you guys. So stay with us, because right now we really want to share what we did and why we got started and how.
Yeah.
But multiple streams is the way. So I guess for you, like, what have been the challenges for you, Renee? Because I would love to hear, with you having so many plates in the air.
Yeah.
I mean, throughout these years and making this decision later in life due to the D word, what are those challenges? What did you face?
Many.
Always.
First, fail forward, like fall down, get up, fall down, get up, fall, right? Challenges like making major mistakes. Like when I started, I was the Susie Spammy. Like, oh my God.
Okay, wait. Now you have to tell us more about the Susie Spammy, because that is one thing that all of us women hate. We're like, oh my God, girl, leave me alone.
Right.
So tell us, what did you do?
But I didn't know any better, right? I'm like, so first of all, I talk in emojis, and I talk with that, hey girl, hey beautiful, hey sweetie, like that's just who I am. So that part is not spammy, but like when you're just sending out those messages and, and it's the, hey girl, I've got this and I thought of you. And it's like, bullshit. You didn't think of me, but you're like, just like a numbers. Oh my God. Right. And so
those are the worst.
Those are the worst. Right. So I'm glad that I've grown, and I'm able to share what works with my team members and my clients. But that's a big, that was a challenge. The other big challenge that I faced was I felt like a real lack of support from people. So I had to go outside. It's so funny. And I know a lot of women can relate. How many people that in your circle don't support you? They don't like your post. True. They don't shop with you. They don't share you. They are nothing, right? They're saying it. They don't do anything about it, right? So the challenge was, I got to find people. I know I've got fantastic products, services, offerings to give to somebody, but knowing that there's hundreds of millions of people in this country. If you're just in the US, if you're global, I mean, hell, like that's opened up major doors, right? But the challenge was to, overcome the sadness and the disappointment, knowing that, potential family and friends aren't supporting me. And
isn't that weird, Renee? Like, I think it's part of our maturity too, of the lack of friends and family support when you offer any kind of support, but they will go and talk about another business or another person like they know them, but they know you.
Right. And it's always been bizarre. Like they'll go, I don't know, they'll take a celebrity, and because a celebrity says, this is the best pen you'll have, and they're like, oh my God, I need the pen. When they see
when the celebrity's getting paid to talk about that pen. Let's just talk about that.
Exactly. Or you go to any store, and we know that those manufacturers paid thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to have this on their shelf. But yet when they see their Facebook friend, their social media friend, or the friend that they grew up with, and we're like, oh my gosh, this stuff is really so amazing. It's been great for me. Maybe you want to take a look. And they're like, I don't think so.
And I would have never have sold it if it wasn't really good for me, or I wouldn't be sharing it with you. I'm not getting paid to necessarily share it with you. I'm getting paid when you buy it.
Right.
So that's a big difference.
Yeah. And we have more to lose. So when women start businesses, we have more to lose than the big stores or the celebrities, because our reputation with our friends, with our family, like so for us to put ourselves out there, I think the majority of us women will only share stuff that we absolutely freaking love.
So true.
Like you said, we're not getting paid for it. So that was one of the biggest challenges, is to, and it's still a struggle. I mean, not going to lie, 11 years into this, right? And because I also keep on like, oh, I'm going to do this. I just feel like I have like so much, I don't know, so much energy. But anyway, I've got all these ideas and things that I want to do. And it's like, hey, why not? Right? Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. But, I even went through challenges of like supporting the pageant industry. And I was the national sponsor of the Miss America organization. Me, little old Renee Carbone Fleming, not a big company, me. And they were super supportive until it wasn't. And expecting the same support from a lot of pageants or contestants where, I'm sponsoring them, support me, share me. And, some companies, and I'm not saying Miss America, but some companies, some pageants, some contestants, really take advantage of that and don't really support. They just want all the free stuff. And, thinking naively that, other people are really going to support is, again, challenges, but these are challenges that every business is going to go through.
Yes. And being taken advantage of is definitely a big one, that all businesses are getting in with the wrong people at the wrong time sometimes, or getting in with the right people at the right time.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. What about you? I want to know what inspired you?
Okay, so 'tis the little cute tie-dye shirt. So, I mean, in all reality, I think that business owning has like ran in my blood since birth. My grandma in the 20s, and this is 1920s, not 2020, okay, actually owned a bar, Renee.
Wow.
And that was very unprecedented for a female to own a bar back then, when it was bootlegging and like Get Out and all that. Fast forward, my grandma, that was my great great grandma, but my grandma was a single mom with 6 kids. So she always sold something and did something to put extra food on the table. She was absent because she was a single mom with 6 kids. So the 2 older siblings really had to take care of the kids, but she was always doing something. And my father noticed and caught on to her hard work and all that she was doing to supporting. So now my father is a father, and he just started always having an interest in dabbling things. And this is so funny, but I remember being 3 or 4 and having these brown bottles all over the house, not knowing what was going on, and realizing later that my grandma and my dad got into the business of Shackley. How many of you remember the health and wellness Shackley, the little pills? They're still around. They still are a huge company, but they were selling Shackley.
Wow.
And had large networks of people on their team, and he did really really good, but his dream was to always own a brick and mortar. And so from the time that I was 10 years old, I would get out of school, walk home, open up the garage door, get everything set up. My dad turned our garage into a store where I managed it. I don't know how this happened. I sold baseball cards.
Wow.
I sold baseball cards for quite a long time. And then my dad started doing baseball card shows. So we were going and setting up these events and selling baseball cards. And then from baseball cards, he said, I love baseball. Let me open up a a batting cage. And then from the batting cage arena, he did a little video area, then pool tables. So he grew, and then he got his alcohol license. Then he had these magical sandwiches. So ever since I was about 10 years old, I've been behind a register helping manage a business for my father. And it's just something that ran deep in all of our bloods. We have the entrepreneur spirit in us. And so that's how it came to be. So even when I went to the military, as soon as I had my first kid, I was thinking of ways to supplement my income, because military, you don't make crap. I love you all. Thank you for your service. You guys are amazing. My son is now a sergeant in the military, and we don't do enough for them. So I just want to throw that out there. But so I was like, oh, I'm going to supplement my income. So I started doing things too. And it started, and the easiest one was to do a direct sales, because I didn't have to have a large overhead, and I could just sell it to the other people in my unit, you know. And I remember a Mary Kay girl showed up to our office every single day, and all of us with our uniforms would go out there. She'd open up the trunk, and we were like, I want that, I want that, I want that. That's how I fell in love with the lip scrub. So these are things that just along the way continued to happen. And then I get out of the military, and I got out of the military because my ex was never supportive of me selling things. He liked the money, but wasn't supportive. I got pregnant. He had somebody else and left me when I was pregnant with my third baby. And I now was going to be a single mom with 3 kids. So I went home back to my dad, and I was like, I've got to do something. I ended up getting back together with him. That's another story for another day, but I don't regret it. It was a stupid decision. You live in this toxic head and you think things are going to be good. But so I just told my dad I have to do something. And I ended up starting a little small Avon business. Well, in less than 6 months, I was like just blowing it up, Renee. And I was like, I didn't even know how or why, but I would just sit at the baseball fields with my little cute book, you know?
Yeah.
Well, shortly after that, I didn't understand exactly what I was doing, because I went straight from high school to military and then always dabbling in my own business. The corporate team had asked me to run a district, thinking that I was going to be able to keep my team. So I misunderstood what was happening, and I went completely corporate. And I ran that corporate district as the leader and managed all the people without me being able to have the multiple stream of income, but I had a corporate salary. So I ended up rewinding, going to corporate, but doing it with something that I loved, because a lot of people don't know, but there's corporate jobs with direct sales, right? So I got to be in the beauty industry. So I went from the military to beauty, and I loved it. And it was such a good run. It was one of my most favorite things. It really molded me into being who I am. So I always had a love and passion to help women like you, Renee. And that is, I went back and forth, left Avon, opened up a brick and mortar. That is another conversation for another day. And I know we have quite a bit of business owners that would love to get on with us to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the struggles and the support that you really need. But I bought a gym, and I absolutely loved it. I was so excited. It was like one of the best feelings ever. And then COVID happened. So it got shut down. And I just did everything I could to survive for a year and a half, because we were shut down for 3 months, and the place that I was renting from didn't give me a break. My overhead was $4,000, and I had to stop paying employees. It was a struggle. So needless to say, then I was like, okay, I'm really good at corporate. I'm really good at helping people. I want to stay in the direct selling industry, but I'll go back to corporate. So I got a national sales director job. And then I got really sick, which I shared with you guys before. Straight from that job, I became a COO for a skincare company that was just coming into the US. Loved it. It was great. All that good, fun stuff. Startups are very, very challenging. It can be very, very difficult. You never know what you're going to have to navigate. So now I'm like, you know what? I'm doing this on my own. I keep doing all these things for everybody else. It is time for me. So now I've been back into focused on just me, 100% full board, all on me. And I love it. I love my time. I love my freedom. With all the health issues that I've been having, I'm like, I have to do this route.
Yeah.
Like, there's no choice for me. I cannot imagine going through what I'm going through and back in corporate again. So it's just a personal choice for me. It's very, very scary, right,
It's very
Renee?
scary, but having that flexibility to be your own
Amazing.
boss is right.
Yes,
That's just, it's freedom.
it is.
It's freedom. It is scary, like you said, right? Because
Yes.
we don't have I can't say luxury, but we're not tied to a certain amount of money, but it's the freedom that we
Yes,
can earn whatever the hell we want. If we invest in ourselves and we
yes.
know that we rely on ourselves, we know we can't rely on anyone else.
It's
My,
true.
my boyfriend's company is going through a major layoff.
Yeah.
And the scary thing is, somebody being, especially our age, women over 40, even men over 40, like to then you could be gone tomorrow from your corporate job for whatever workplace. And when you get to be a certain age, and I think that's probably more
Yeah.
like, my mid-50s, it's
Yes.
harder to get a job.
It is. As soon as you walk in the door, you're judged.
Right.
And
So,
that's what led me to the tie-dye shirt. Is my dad worked for a company, and he always dabbled in stuff, but he was working a full-time job at a company, and he got hurt and went on workers' comp, and they just, I mean, he was going to have a heart attack. And
mm,
so he stepped out in faith and he started his own business, and that's how it all transpired and did it. But his signature was a tie-dye shirt, and you guys are going to think this is crazy, but my dad was one of the very first ones to sell Crocs. Before Crocs were Crocs and were
mhm.
sold everywhere and took on, he sold them for $6 at
Oh
his
my God.
store, and they flew off the shelf. So my dad would always wear a tie-dyed shirt and these orange Crocs. And we're like, what are those things? Those are so ugly, Dad. And he's like, no, these are going to be big. Everybody's buying them. And you guys, they're so comfy, right? Everybody has a pair of Crocs
Not
now.
me. Not
And
me. Not me.
not you.
No, no. I'm
You're like, I
sorry.
never went that route.
All those Croc lovers, God bless you all. You will never see you will never fucking see me in Crocs.
My grandson's like, "Where's my Crocs? Where's my?"
Oh,
He wanted to wear his Crocs to the baseball game. We're like, "Honey, baseball players wear shoes.
yeah.
Those are your comfy ones." So he was always ahead of his time. It ran in his blood, and
Oh,
so I always just say my journey has now happened. He was in his 30s when his journey took place, but he was forced. I kind of was forced, but it's just it's a love and a passion, and my customers are mother freaking the best women ever.
yeah.
I can't even, and my teams of people that have followed me to do things. I also mentor other women to start their own boutiques. I mean, I just love them. I wish that I could do something so special for every single one because they're just amazing. And the love and support that you get from complete strangers
Yeah.
is just unreal. And I was, Renee, when you were talking earlier about how people on the internet, how they don't, but strangers will support you, I started doing content creating, and it's just amazing how complete strangers will follow you and tell you that you are the greatest and say, "Oh my God, I love everything that you do." But a family member won't even give you a like. And what they don't know is you get paid for likes, you get paid for comments, you get paid for views. And it's like if your family and the people that you're around could just support you just as half
Yeah.
of the amount.
Yeah.
Or they'll go buy a dress and I'll see it and I'll be like, "Did you get that from my boutique?" And I'll start going and looking and I'm like, "They did not order from me." Same exact dress,
Right. Oh my
but they didn't order from me. And it's so frustrating and disappointing. But you have so many other great, amazing people that you just keep, and you're headstrong, and your drive just is like, forget it. It doesn't matter. Let's go. And I think the maturity of
yeah.
that, I don't care anymore,
Yeah. It
pushes.
definitely, yes. And that's really what we want other women to understand. No matter where you are in life, if you've never opened up a business, never done anything, everything is figure outable. Everything
It
is.
is.
As long as if you have the drive, so we always talk
Right.
about your why, right? If your why is bigger than your excuses, then you will succeed, right?
Yes.
We can figure out. I didn't know how to do content. I didn't know how to create a reel. I
Neither did
didn't
I.
know how to create a social planning calendar. Put it on. I use Trello. I use Asana. Like there are tools out there
She's
that
forcing me, you guys.
I
She's
am.
forcing me. I'm
Mhm.
just gonna say that
Yep.
because
I
I
am.
hate it. We're opposite like
I
that.
know.
She's like little miss organized and detailed, and I'm like, oh, I'll just figure it out. And
Well,
see, we're both different types of business owners, but it
yes,
works.
but and that's the thing. I have squirrel disease. Like I can go like, oh my God, like let's try this. And like, oh, we're gonna do this. But I also have that organized. When I worked at corporate, they used to call me the Excel queen, Excel
Oh
spreadsheet,
yeah.
because I have spreadsheets on freaking everything. Like I definitely am very organized. But that's how I'm able to do so many different things. I'm really good at compartmentalizing. I'm good at organizing the stuff. And I know that anyone can do it because if I can do
True.
it, right, anyone can do it. We can all
Anything can
learn.
be duplicated, right, Renee?
Yeah.
And that is what I think that if you can master, be your own authentic self, be
Mhm.
unapologetically badass, okay? Always. Like, and don't take any crap from anybody, even if it is a family member,
Yeah.
right? Like, who cares? Forget about it.
Yep.
But anything can be duplicated. Tis as how I'm able to mentor women to open up their own boutiques,
Yeah.
right, and show them, and I say, this is the form that I use, this is how I track this is how I ship on this time, this is my ordering schedule. It's
Yeah.
all duplicatable.
Right.
And direct sales, that's what we love about direct sales. If you guys are kind of scared and worried and you're not sure, direct sales already has a duplicatable platform for you. So you
Yeah.
don't have to create
Right.
any more. It already is kind of done for you. Like they already have the imaging, they have videos to share. So now it's really you just getting your feet wet and understanding how you're going to market it, because anything that you do, you have to market it. And that's where your uniqueness comes in. And I will tell you, if you are an introvert, you usually will do better. I
Yeah.
know it sounds crazy, but you are a thinker. You're able to really, really process and take the time to make things really, really great. So usually introverts do better, even though it seems scary
Yeah.
to like put yourself out there. So I just want to say that too. And we're not trying to like get anybody to like, oh, just quit your job and go do your own business.
Right.
We're
No.
trying to say be brave,
Yeah.
and it's okay, because
Yeah.
right now with the way our world is, and Renee, I know we could do
Yep.
a whole discussion on this too.
Yep.
It sucks. You have to have something. You got to sell bread nowadays to
You're
be
gonna
able
do
to go
something.
buy bread.
Everybody needs multiple streams of income. Everybody does. Man, woman, it doesn't make a difference. And I
Doesn't make a
love
difference.
the network marketing, direct selling space. And I have to share that it is so important to, even though there are the systems, what I love is if you're trainable and coachable, you can build it. But
Yes.
you, like you said, be authentically you. The power of personal branding is what's going to get you to build your business. Because if there's a sea of consultants selling the same thing,
Yes.
what makes you so special? Right? What is
Yes.
so different about you that somebody wants to do business with you? So it's that we share, build that like no trust factor. When you're showing up on social, when you're yourself, I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I get that. I swear like a truck driver. I am who I am. I know who I know. I know me. And I know that I'm
You
not
got to know you.
everyone. And that's okay
It's
because
okay.
we're going to find the people that want to be in our circle are going to be in our circle. And I think like
And once,
that has to do with our maturity. Like we get to a point where we
yes.
like just understand that more.
And once people are attracted to you, they stay with you. And
Yeah.
I just keep going back to TikTok. People are like fighting on TikTok right now. I gotta get to 1,000 so I can get on TikTok Shop.
Yeah.
What they don't understand is TikTok Shop is direct selling on steroids.
Yes.
everybody is trying it. So if you think that, oh, everybody's doing it, I won't make it, that is not true. And this is with anything: direct sales, TikTok shop, content influencer. If you are still sitting at a small amount and you're not growing your following, you have to just stay with it.
Yeah.
It can be so challenging. I was able to grow my TikTok account to 10,000 in less than 4 months, and I was so proud of that, because that was
Yeah.
a big accomplishment. But it was me being me.
Yeah.
Now everybody's trying to do that, and there's people getting there really fast, and then they turn on their TikTok shop and bam, they're like, I don't really know what to do. That's because you have to stand out. You have to do it a little different. You have to be you. And as you're consistent, people will just follow. It's just like direct sales. Like if I'm promoting the collagen, right, Renee? Like if we're promoting collagen, like we have to, number one, you got to use it. So that's why TikTok shop is so famous. They're using it. They're like, oh girl, looks good, huh? Yeah. Okay. Buy it.
Yeah.
It's the same exact thing. Same
Yeah.
exact
Like
thing. So
we
if
said,
I am going to promote collagen, I'm going to use it, and I'm going to tell the world that my husband doesn't have shoulder pain anymore, and that I don't have to get Botox nearly
right.
as much as I did before. Yeah,
Right.
girl, we all get Botox, but I don't have
No.
to. My
No.
joints are different. Everything's different.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I wouldn't have chose that had it not worked.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok shop, you buy something that you love and then you show it. You just don't, I mean, it's not random, right? You have to love it. Like if you bought some sheets and they're bamboo and you love them, you want to tell the world about it. Now you get a little piece of the pie.
Exactly. You're just getting paid to share what you love, and without a huge investment. So anybody can do it for sure. But like you said, it's consistency, because we all have had, and we've grown teams, and we grow teams now. And there's so many people that throughout our careers say that they're going to do something and they don't. And then they wonder why. And I think that's why, direct sales network marketing does get a bad rap, because, people are like, oh, it didn't work. Oh, you can't sell. You can't make money. Only the top people can do that. And it's like, no, that's bullshit.
But we didn't just get to the top, but just not doing nothing.
Exactly. You just sit there going like, oh, I want to get to the top, right? You got to put in the work. You got to do the do in order to get to where you want to go. And so it's unfortunate that so many people, give it a bad rap. And I even see like in these groups and Facebook groups, and people will say, I need new skincare, right? Tell me what do you use? No network marketing or direct selling companies. And it's like, just because something's in a store, you think that that's actually really good? Like, direct selling companies, they do the research. Like, there's amazing science.
They have to get certified. They have to have so many different legal approvals.
Yeah.
The testing on it and the story behind it are so much more difficult for people to be able to, and the legal of it is just insane behind the scenes, and people just have that stigma, and it's really, really sad. And yet
but everyone has to do their own research. They have to do their own research, because definitely not every company is the same. Not every person's the same. And that's within every single industry. So it's not just direct sales network marketing, no matter who you do business with, right? You're going to have some great people.
And you can become an affiliate with almost any kind of company right now. And so like, even do your research on being an affiliate too. And a lot of times these affiliate companies are free, and like Bella Grace, it's free if you want to just be an influencer, right? Like this is one of the ones that Renee and I choose to do we pay a yearly fee so that we can actually earn more if we choose to, right? But we did our research on it. So any affiliate company that you're researching too, you need to research it.
Absolutely.
It's not just a drop and just like, okay, that's easy, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to work it. I mean, that's just the bottom line. You have to work it. But we always say, I mean, this is multiple streams, and a lot of people looking to start a side hustle because of the way life is, and we suggest everyone have a side hustle. But one of the myths that people have is they always say, I don't have enough time. I don't have
Yes.
enough time. I don't have enough time. They don't understand how just a little bit of effort consistently can yield huge results. And if we all have 168 hours a week and say they work 40 or 50 hours, okay, there's a lot more time left in your week to do it. So it all goes back to the drive and the why. But anybody over 40 with no experience whatsoever, who's scared of technology, who doesn't know how to do a reel, it's okay. Everything is figure outable. So I love this.
Wait, and really quickly, because you got on the topic of having time, I would love if I was listening to us, I would love for us to give one work-life balance or harmony tip. So I don't know, Renee, do you have one that just popped in your head? Because I think that for people who, even if you're just a busy mom and you have teenagers at this point, or maybe you have grown kids and you're just trying to juggle life, work-life balance is a thing.
It is.
So what's your one tip you think?
That's hard because I still struggle with that.
Not one. We can't give you guys one. Okay.
It's
Oh,
important.
love it.
I don't
Go
know.
ahead. Go ahead.
So for me, like work life is the same. Like it's the same. So it's just part of who I am. So I don't have that Sunday night stress of going, oh, I got to go to work tomorrow. Like this is
Exactly.
who I am. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm sharing. So for me, it's 7 days a week. Now I don't work 7 days a week, but I'm able to just live these businesses and incorporate it in my life. And that work life is, I guess for me, is rewarding myself with breaks. I love to travel. I
Yes,
love
me too.
vacations, and I love being able to take my family on vacations and do special things for them. So for me, that work-life balance is being able to like set a goal, achieve it, and then go spoil the ones that I love.
Yes, I love it. And I think for me, when it comes to work-life harmony, when I was working corporate, I needed to step back. I wasn't getting
Yeah.
paid to be on 24/7. I had to have a cut off time.
Yeah.
When I worked at the gym, I was there 12 hours a day. Okay. 12 hours a day. So my life, like I had to take a day and just say, this day is for me.
Yeah.
And I had to just let it go. Now, while I took that day, right, to just have me time, one day the system crashed. So my one day time didn't necessarily get to happen. Working a business like owning a boutique,
Mhm.
selling collagen, promoting Korean skincare, things like that, which is what I do now. I love it so much that every day I incorporate it. But if I want to go and have a wine, if I just want to have a
Yeah.
day drinking day with my girlfriends, I get to and I can shut down.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that is what I love the most.
Yeah.
If I have 20 appointments, which you guys, like right now, I'm about to have 20 doctor's appointment back to back to back. I'm going to work this. I'm going to work that. I'm going to, make it work. So calendar management is everything, but
Yes.
there is a difference of learning to shut down, looking your kids in the eyeballs and just having eyeball time, um, stopping everything and spoiling your family.
Yeah.
These are moments that you absolutely, in my opinion, have to do.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you think, Renee,
Yeah.
because
It's free. It's freedom. It, like you said, if you want to just shut it down, we can shut it the freak down when we want, how we want, do whatever. Like if we want to work at 10 p.m., we're going to work at 10 p.m. If we want to take
Mhm.
2 weeks off and go travel the world, take 2 weeks off and go travel the world. But we don't have
Yes.
to ask permission for
No.
anything. And
No.
that, as a divorced woman, I definitely have tried to raise my children to Do not ask for permission. Be independent. Stand on your own feet. You're going to be in a relationship. Wonderful. Have that partnership. That's great. I'm not bashing that. But always be able to live
Have your own.
unapologetically, have your own fuck it fund.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I,
So
I tell my kids, you don't get to take the money with you.
mhm.
Okay. But I want you to live a life that you can look back on and truly be, I did everything I wanted to do. So take the freaking trip,
Yeah.
take the pauses, go golfing,
Yeah.
go shopping, buy that $1,500 bag for yourself one day, like,
Yeah.
because you deserve it. And if
Yeah.
that makes you feel good and that's something you want to do, then daggone it, do it.
Yeah.
And I don't want my kids to live like they can't or
Mhm.
they feel restricted, because I remember in my 20s and 30s, I always felt like I couldn't even buy my own damn underwear.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
guilty, or I, like, what if we, or how come, or I just
Yeah.
like throw that out the window. And to have that freedom as why we own our own businesses is just irreplaceable. And again, we're not saying quit your jobs today. We need you nurses. We need you
Yeah.
teachers. We need, we need you lawyers. We need all of you. And we love you. Just make sure you really do for you and you allow yourself to turn it off when it's
Yeah.
needed.
And that's such a true point, because I grew up in a tenement apartment, and we had no money. Like, I was working at the age of 14, 15, moved out of the
Mhm.
house at 17. I was independent on my own. Everything was figure outable.
It
But
is.
money was never like, money just gives you options. That's all it does. But
Mhm.
being able to create my own options was really a very
It's
important thing.
priceless.
It's priceless. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I
mean, the
love.
money's great because like we
Yeah.
get to take the vacations. And if we want to push ourselves, we'll be like, I'm going to push myself a little harder this month because I need to pay for that Jamaica trip.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
beauty of it.
I mean, if somebody who works a regular job, their boiler blows, they can't go to their boss and say, "Hey, can I have an advance because I have these unexpected bills?" Right?
You
For
need that
us,
bucket fund. You
you
need
need the
that
fucking
bucket
fund,
fund.
right? You need the fucking fund. And for us, if we go like, "Oh shit, life just happened," I need, like, my daughter. It's not an oh shit, but my oldest daughter's getting married, and of course, luckily, I have a fucking fund, and I want to do as much as I can financially for my daughter and her fiance. So I have the power of creating the business, creating the opportunities that I can gift them with an amazing celebration. So I love being in the driver's seat, and I know we're very passionate about helping other women be in their own driver's seat for sure.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I think that's, if I had to give any learning and my own growth, is truly just loving who I am, being okay with being a little scared and fearful, because that is the driver for me,
Yeah.
is that I will not settle for less. And the growth part is just the maturity of, I don't care. I'm
Mhm.
going to do me. I'm
Yeah.
going to do me and whatever is best for me, not in a selfish way, but in a
Right.
loving way, because I love myself enough to do that for me.
Yep.
Because we love other people all the time that way. We love them more than us, but we have to love us a little bit more.
For sure. For sure. I love that. And it's all about learning, growth, and it's all about continuing to learn. Like we say, if you're trainable, coachable, everything's figure outable. So, and if Sierra and I could be of resource to any of you, please message us on our socials. Continue to follow us. Make sure you like and subscribe to our podcast. We're super excited to give you more options and future conversations. So how do you want to
I
close
know we
it,
got
Sierra?
I don't know. We got a couple of other things coming up and we don't want you guys to miss it. But again, also make sure that if you're interested in being on our show and you have a story to tell, let us know. But, we have some upcoming things on adulting, how to adult kids, and just reinventing our badass selves. That's something that's really exciting for us. So keep an eye out. Don't miss next week's episode. Keep us on the dial. And we hope that you share with friends. And I again, thank you for just listening. Even if it's just one listener, right? This is how it starts, Renee. This is how it starts. This is how we
all start with one. So
so we love you and we thank you, you one listener. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Thank you so much. And please, if you find us amusing or at all entertaining or inspiring, share us. That would be great, because that's free.
So we have 2 of you.
And then we'll have 2 of you. And then we'll have a party. We'll do a wine party. Beautiful.
We will.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone.